Opening this presentation covers the two core processes that govern how we create, validate, publish, and change portfolio documentation. The document is I00010, Revision B, aligned to E2E PMGM V8. Two processes. The specification documentation process, 9 steps from initiation to maintenance, and the change management process, 10 steps from logging a change to archiving. Both run on SharePoint with Power Automate enforcing the rules. Purpose and governance alignment left side. Two governed processes. The specification documentation process, S1 through S9, covers creating, validating, publishing, and maintaining specifications. The change management process, C1 through C10, covers classifying, approving, implementing, and releasing changes. The goal: every document version is traceable to an approved change record with consistent quality checkpoints and automatic stakeholder notification. This operates as a Level 2 procedure under the E2E PMGM. Right side, 7 governance checkpoints. SharePoint as single system of record. Mandatory change classification per PMGM V8. Quality checkpoints with checklists. Release governance with effective dates and archived versions. Automatic notifications. The TTC to TTM feedback loop, 5 or more exceptions in 90 days, triggers a formal review. And functional veto enforcement, rejection from procurement, legal, or risk is a hard stop. Bottom, proportional governance. Full track above 250K or new vendors with all veto rights. Scaled track 50K to 250K with standard review. Fast track below 50K with delegated approvals. Track determined by the E2E PMGM selection matrix. Specification documentation process 9 steps in sequence. S1 initiate. Log the request in SharePoint linked to portfolio item and governance track. S2 assign owner and scope. Set the document owner and proportional governance metadata. S3 draft. Produce content using the standard template in the working library. S4 architecture and compliance input. Technical constraints, integration patterns, sustainability assessment for full and scaled track. S5 quality checkpoint. The document controller checks template completeness, metadata, and traceability. This is a formal gate. S6 review and approval. Veto holding functions validate. A rejection blocks the publish action in the workflow. S7 publish with effective date. Previous version archived. S8 communicate via Power Automate. S9 maintain with scheduled reviews. Right side. Lifecycle states, draft, in review, approved, released, archived. Each with clear entry and exit criteria. Bottom, mandatory metadata including portfolio item ID, document type, owner, domain, geography, lifecycle state, version, governance track, vendor status, CAPEX tier, and sustainability score. Change management process left. Change classification, 6 types. Major change follows full TTM governance for material scope, role, or financial changes. Minor change follows a light path for editorial or metadata corrections. Standard change is pre-approved and auto-routed for low-risk repeatable updates. Emergency change uses expedited approval but requires retrospective review. Pricing update and technical upgrade each have dedicated governance paths. Right, 10 steps C1 through C10, initiate, triage, assess impact, review, approve, implement, QA, release, communicate, archive. Every step produces traceable output. The CR lifecycle flows from logged through triaged, assessing, in review, approved or rejected, implementing, QA, released to closed. Bottom left, versioning. Major versions for released content, minor for drafts. Every released document links to its approving CR. Retired documents are archived with retention rules, never deleted. Bottom right, feedback loop. 5 or more exceptions at SP1 for one offering in 90 days triggers a documentation review. 2 consecutive quarters of triggers escalates to the portfolio board. Validation workflow and veto rights top left. Veto authority at decision points. At DP2 commercial approval, procurement can veto unconfirmed vendor pricing, and legal can veto incomplete compliance reviews. At DP3 launch, procurement can block without an executed vendor contract. At SP1 on full track, procurement can block unconfirmed vendor delivery. Top right, enforcement. A rejected status is a hard stop, technically enforced in SharePoint, not just policy. The publish action is blocked until all veto holders record validated status. Risk holds veto where the risk exposure score is 4 or 5. Middle, 11 validation checklist items covering template, metadata, governance fields, dependencies, risk notes, sustainability, approvals, veto holder validation, versioning, and publication. Bottom, sustainability requirements. Full and scale track need an environmental compliance plan and sustainability assessment. All tracks carry the sustainability score. For dimensions, energy efficiency and circular design in TTM, operational carbon in TTC, and end-of-life impact at sunset. SharePoint repository and Agile integration top left. 4 libraries. Working holds drafts with minor versioning. Current holds release specs, read-only for most users. Templates are governed. Archive holds retired documents with retention labels. For lists, change requests, validation checklists, portfolio index, and tool instance register. Top right, 5 permission roles. Readers see current. Contributors create in working and log CRs. Approvers approve but cannot bypass required fields. Document controllers manage quality and publishing. Site owners manage structure. Direct editing in current is disabled. Publication only via the approval workflow. Bottom, Agile integration. Documents in draft state can be live artifacts during sprints and PIs but must not be used as binding commitments until released. DP1 aligns with PI planning preparation, DP2 with PI planning start, DP3 with the PI boundary system demo. TTC gates operate at sprint level. Roles and responsibilities. The RACI covers 9 activities across 8 roles. The document owner is responsible for drafting, impact assessment, classification, and sustainability. The portfolio owner is accountable for governance outcomes. Critical control. During review, the solution architect, compliance/legal, and procurement hold responsible status. Those in red carry veto authority. During approve, compliance/legal, and procurement retain veto holding consulted status. The document controller is responsible for publish and archive. Bottom, governance toolchain integration. SharePoint components map to the E2E PMGM toolchain, portfolio catalog, decision records, business case artifacts, and documentation. Each domain maintains a tool instance register mapping to concrete instances. That concludes the walkthrough. S1 through S9 for specifications and C1 through C10 for changes together ensure every piece of portfolio documentation is governed, traceable, and proportionally controlled.